The sun was sinking low over the Arizona desert, painting the sky in burning oranges and purples, when 8-year-old Liam Harper stood frozen beside Pump 6, clutching a frayed red bandana in one hand and the leash of his scruffy golden retriever in the other, staring at the leather vest of a stranger who had just pulled up on a rumbling Harley. It was late October, the kind of crisp evening where the heat of the day finally gave way to a cool breeze rolling off the distant mountains. The small Shell station on the edge of Kingman sat right off old Route 66, a lonely stop for truckers, travelers and riders chasing the open road. Liam and his mom, Emily, had been on their way back from a quick trip to the grocery store when she realized the tank was almost empty. She told him to wait outside with Max, their 3-year-old golden retriever who had been his dad's shadow before everything changed. Max sat patiently beside Liam, his golden fur catching the last rays of sunlight, tail thumping softly against the concrete every time a motorcycle roared past. The dog still wore the same faded red bandana around his neck that Liam's father, Ryan "Ryder" Harper, had tied there years ago. Ryan had been a proud member of the Desert Thunder Motorcycle Club, a patched rider known across Arizona for his easy laugh and his unbreakable loyalty. 6 months earlier, a rainy night on Interstate 40 had taken him forever. A semi-truck hydroplaning across lanes, no time to react. Ryan was gone in an instant. Since then, Liam had barely spoken about his dad. Emily, drowning in her own grief, had packed away Ryan's vest, his helmet, even most of his photos. She told Liam they needed to start fresh, that talking about Daddy made everything hurt more. But Liam couldn't let go. Every night he hugged Max a little tighter, because the dog still smelled faintly of motor oil and the leather Ryan used to wear. And he'd secretly taken the red bandana from Max's old toy box, the one Ryan had used to wipe grease off his hands and then playfully tie around the dog's neck. Now, watching the tall biker in the black leather vest step off his bike, Liam felt his heart hammer in his chest. The patches were almost identical. The Desert Thunder MC logo, a thundercloud over red desert mountains, along with rockers that read Arizona and Road Captain. The man looked tough. Mid-40s, broad shoulders, salt and pepper beard, arms covered in faded tattoos that told stories of the road and the Marines. His name patch read Cole. Cole knelt beside his bike to check the chain, wiping his hands on a rag, when he noticed the small boy and the golden retriever staring at him. Max's tail wagged harder, sensing no threat, only curiosity. Liam took one hesitant step forward, then another, Max padding right beside him like a loyal bodyguard. "Excuse me, sir," Liam said, his voice barely above the hum of the gas pumps. Cole looked up, his weathered face softening when he saw the freckled boy with messy brown hair and eyes still red from crying earlier in the car. "Yeah, little man. Everything okay?" Cole asked gently, standing slowly so he wouldn't scare the kid. Liam swallowed hard, clutching the bandana tighter. Max leaned against his leg, warm and steady. "My dad, he had patches just like yours," Liam whispered, eyes locked on the vest. "And Max here, he was my dad's dog. Dad used to tie this bandana on him after every ride." Cole's brow furrowed. He glanced at the dog, healthy, well-loved, but with that unmistakable look of a rider's companion, and then back at the boy. Past tense. Had. The words hit like a punch. "I'm real sorry, son," Cole said quietly. "What was your dad's name?" "Ryan Harper," Liam answered, voice cracking. "Everyone called him Ryder. He was in Desert Thunder MC. He died 6 months ago, in an accident." A tear escaped and rolled down his cheek. Max whined softly, nudging Liam's hand with his wet nose, as if trying to comfort him. Cole froze. Ryan Ryder Harper. He knew that name. He'd ridden with Ryder a dozen times. Charity runs, poker rides, late-night bonfires at the clubhouse. Ryder had been one of the good ones. Always the first to help a brother fix a breakdown, always laughing, always talking about his little boy and his dog back home. Cole had been at the funeral. Over 100 bikes had roared in salute. But in the chaos of grief, no one had realized Ryder had left behind a son and a heartbroken golden retriever waiting for him to come home. "Your dad was Ryder Harper?" Cole asked carefully, kneeling down to Liam's level. Max immediately walked over and licked Cole's hand, tail wagging like he recognized the leather and the scent of the road. Liam nodded, fresh tears falling. You knew him." "I did, buddy. I rode with him. He was a solid brother. One of the best." Cole's voice was thick. He looked at Max, who now sat pressed against his knee like an old friend. "And this big guy? Ryder talked about you two all the time. Said Max was the best co-pilot in Arizona." Liam let out a small sob, and Max whined again, resting his head on Liam's lap. "Mom put all Dad's stuff away. She says I shouldn't talk about him anymore because it makes her sad, but I miss him so much. And Max still waits by the door every night, like Dad's gonna walk in with his helmet." Cole felt his chest tighten. This little boy and his loyal dog were carrying a grief no one should have to bear alone. He reached out slowly and rested a hand on Liam's shoulder. "You don't have to stop missing him, son, ever. Your dad was proud of you, and Max here, he remembers too." As Liam leaned into the stranger's kindness, Max pressed close to both of them, forming a small circle of comfort in the middle of the desert gas station. Cole glanced toward the store. Emily was inside paying, unaware of the moment unfolding outside. If this story is already pulling at your heart, hit that subscribe button right now and join Road Motorcycle Diaries. We share real stories that prove brotherhood, loyalty, and love never die, even when the road takes someone we love too soon. Cole made a decision right then and there. He pulled out his phone, looked Liam straight in the eye, and said, "How would you and Max like to meet some of your dad's brothers, the ones who rode with him, who loved him? I think it's time they knew about you, and about this good boy who's still waiting for his rider to come home." Liam's eyes went wide with hope for the first time in months. But before he could answer, Emily stepped out of the store and saw her son talking to a large biker, and her face turned to shock. Emily Harper's coffee cup slipped from her hand and shattered on the concrete as she saw her 8-year-old son standing between a massive biker and their golden retriever, tears streaming down Liam's face while the stranger's huge hand rested gently on the boy's shoulder. The sound of breaking ceramic cut through the evening air like a gunshot. Emily rushed forward, her dark ponytail swinging, eyes wide with protective fear. "Liam, get away from him right now!" she called, voice sharp and trembling. Max sensed the tension immediately. He stepped in front of Liam, ears perked, a low warning rumble in his throat, not aggressive, but ready to defend his boy. Cole raised both tattooed hands slowly, palms open, showing he meant no harm. "Ma'am, my name's Cole Morrison. I'm Desert Thunder MC road captain. I rode with your husband, Ryan Ryder Harper. I was at his funeral." His voice was calm, deep, steady. "Your son saw my vest and came over. He showed me Max's bandana, the one Ryder always used." Emily stopped a few feet away, breathing hard. Her eyes darted from Cole's patches to the red bandana around Max's neck, then to Liam's tear-streaked face. The hardness in her expression cracked, replaced by exhaustion and pain. He took that bandana from Ryan's old toolbox," she whispered. "I've been looking for it. Liam, you know you're not supposed to." Her voice broke. She covered her mouth, shoulders shaking. Max padded over to her, pressing his head against her leg until she sank to her knees and buried her face in his golden fur, sobbing quietly. Cole knelt again, this time beside all three of them, mother, son, and loyal dog forming a small, broken family on the gas station concrete. "Mrs. Harper," he said softly, "your boy's hurting. Max is hurting. They miss Ryder every single day, and nobody's letting them talk about him. That's not right. Emily looked up, mascara streaking her cheeks. You think I don't know that? Every time Liam says Dad, it feels like I'm back at the hospital hearing the doctor say there was nothing they could do. I can't keep reliving it. I have to keep us moving forward. I understand, ma'am, Cole replied. Grief's a heavy load. But your son doesn't need to move on. He needs to carry his dad's memory with pride, and he shouldn't have to do it alone. He paused, glancing at Liam, who was watching his mom with desperate hope, and at Max, whose tail gave one cautious wag. Desert Thunder didn't know Ryder had a son. We didn't know about you. We should have checked. That's on us. But we know now. Emily wiped her eyes. What are you saying? I'm saying Ryder's brothers would want to meet his boy and his dog. They'd want to tell Liam stories about his dad. The good ones, the funny ones, the ones that prove Ryan Harper was loved by a whole family bigger than blood. If you'll let us, Liam's small voice piped up. Please, Mom. I want to hear about Dad. Max does too. He still waits for him every night. Max let out a soft woof, as if in agreement, and leaned harder against Emily. Something in her face shifted. She looked at Cole's vest again, saw the same patches Ryan had worn with such pride, and nodded slowly. Okay, she said, voice barely above a whisper. But not here. Not like this. Cole stood and pulled out his phone. Desert Thunder Clubhouse is 25 minutes east of here, just outside Kingman. Photos of Ryder on the wall, brothers who knew him better than I did. You can follow me in your car. Max rides with you, of course. He stepped away a few paces and started making calls. First to the chapter president, then to Ryder's old road crew, then to the Tucson brothers, who'd ridden longest with him. Listen up, Cole said into the phone, voice firm. Ryder Harper's son, 8 years old, and his golden retriever Max are coming to the clubhouse right now. The kid's been carrying his dad's memory alone for 6 months. Mom's finally ready to let him remember. Anybody who rode with Ryder, anybody who called him brother, drop what you're doing and get there. We owe this to him. Within minutes, engines were firing up across 2 counties. Word spread like wildfire through the club's group chat. Ryder's kid needs us. Be there. Emily buckled Liam into the back seat beside Max, who jumped in willingly, bandana bright against his fur. Liam pressed his face into the dog's neck as they pulled out behind Cole's Harley, the rumble of the bike leading them like a guardian. They arrived at the Desert Thunder Clubhouse just as the sun dipped below the horizon, a low, concrete building with a fenced lot full of gleaming bikes, the club flag snapping in the breeze, and already 23 motorcycles lined up outside. When Emily parked, the sight took her breath away. Big, bearded men in leather vests standing quietly, waiting. Some she vaguely recognized from the funeral. Max hopped out first, tail wagging cautiously, sniffing the air thick with familiar scents of oil, leather, and smoke. A giant of a man with a long gray beard and a patch reading Sergeant at Arms Tank stepped forward and knelt in the gravel. Max walked straight to him, sniffed his outstretched hand, then licked it, recognizing the scent of someone who'd once scratched his ears at a clubhouse barbecue years ago. That's Ryder's Max, Tank rumbled, voice thick. Good boy. You waited for him, didn't you? Max's tail wagged harder, then Tank looked at Liam, who clung to his mom's leg. And you've got your dad's eyes, kid. He opened his huge arms. Liam hesitated only a second before running into them. Tank lifted him easily, holding him like something precious. One by one, the brothers introduced themselves. Stories started flowing immediately. Remember the time Ryder fixed my clutch with a coat hanger and duct tape outside Flagstaff? One laughed. Your dad taught me how to weld, another told Liam. Said Max supervised every job. Best quality control in Arizona. Max circulated among them, greeted like an old member, ears scratched, treats offered from pockets. He seemed to relax for the first time in months, tail thumping steadily. Emily stood to the side, tears falling silently, as several of the old ladies, the wives and girlfriends, gathered around her with coffee, hugs, and quiet understanding. Then Tank brought out a wooden box. "Ryder had this made 2 months before the accident," he said, opening it to reveal a small black leather vest, youth-sized, with desert thunder patches carefully stitched, property of DTMC, and a special bottom rocker that read, "Ryder's Legacy." "He wanted you to have it when you turned 10, Tank told Liam, "but I think your dad would say you're ready now." They slipped it over Liam's shoulders. It was a little big, but he stood tall, beaming through tears. Max sat proudly beside him, bandana matching the new vest like they were a team again. Cole watched the scene. 23 hardened bikers with wet eyes, a golden retriever leaning against a little boy now wearing his father's colors, and knew more was still coming. If this moment of brotherhood rising up for a grieving child and his loyal dog has touched you, smash that subscribe button on Road Motorcycle Diaries right now and turn on notifications. Because what happened next, 1 year later, will remind you that real family shows up forever. 1 year to the day after a little boy and his golden retriever approached a stranger at a desert gas station. 87 motorcycles lined up at dawn outside the Desert Thunder clubhouse, engines idling like a low thunder, all waiting for an 8-year-old boy in a perfectly fitted leather vest and his loyal dog to lead them on a ride they would never forget. The morning air was cold and clear, the Arizona sky turning from deep purple to gold as the sun rose over the red rocks. Liam Harper, now 9 years old, stood tall in front of the formation, wearing the youth-sized Desert Thunder vest that had once hung loose on his small shoulders. It fit him perfectly now, altered with care by one of the old ladies. The bottom rocker still read "Ryder's Legacy," and right above it, sewn with pride, was the original red bandana patch his father had always tied on Max, carefully cut and stitched as a permanent memorial. Max sat beside him, golden fur gleaming, wearing a new black bandana with the club's Thundercloud logo embroidered in silver thread. The dog's eyes were bright, tail sweeping the gravel slowly. He no longer waited by the door every night. He had found his new pack. Cole, now chapter president, stood to Liam's left. Tank, the massive sergeant-at-arms who had become Uncle Tank to Liam, stood to his right, holding the keys to his Harley. Today, Liam would ride in front of Tank on the lead bike, the position of honor usually reserved for the president on memorial runs. 87 bikes. Brothers had come from Tucson, Phoenix, even Nevada and New Mexico. Every man and woman who had ever ridden with Ryan Ryder Harper wanted to be here for his son. Emily stood near the clubhouse door with the old ladies, eyes shining with tears. But this time, they were the kind that come with healing. In the past year, the club had become family. They'd shown up for school plays when she worked late, taught Liam basic wrench work on weekends, taken Max on pack walks with their own dogs, and most importantly, they had told story after story about Ryan, until Liam's memories of his dad were no longer just loss, but a living legacy of laughter, loyalty, and love. Cole raised a hand, and every engine cut off at once. Silence fell over the lot. "Liam," Cole said, voice carrying clearly, "this ride today is for your dad. We're going to the place on I-40 where he left us. We'll pay our respects, rev our engines in salute, and then we ride on, because that's what Ryder would want. He'd want us to keep riding, keep living, keep taking care of each other. You ready, son?" Liam nodded, chin high. Max let out a single firm bark, as if saying yes for both of them. Tank lifted Liam onto the bike in front of him, securing him safely. Max jumped into the sidecar that had been specially fitted to Tank's Harley just for today, complete with a padded seat and safety harness for the club's honorary 4-legged member. The dog settled in like he was born for it. bandana flapping proudly in the breeze. Engines roared to life again as the formation pulled out, Liam and Max leading the way, Cole and the officers right behind, then row after row of gleaming bikes stretching down the road like a black and chrome river. They rode in perfect formation to the crash site, where the club had placed a permanent steel memorial marker shaped like a thundercloud, with Ryan's name, road name, and dates engraved. A small plaque beneath read, "Forever Riding, Desert Thunder MC." When they arrived, engines cut once more. The riders formed a large circle around the marker. Liam dismounted with Tank's help, Max hopping out of the sidecar and staying close to his boy's side. One by one, brothers stepped forward to place something at the base of the marker. A patch, a poker chip from a memorable run, a small wrench, a photo. Max gently carried a well-worn tennis ball in his mouth, Ryan's favorite toy to throw for him after long rides, and dropped it carefully at the foot of the memorial. Then it was Liam's turn. He stepped forward alone, Max right beside him, and spoke in a clear, steady voice that carried to every rider in the circle. "My dad was Ryan Ryder Harper. He was the best dad in the whole world. He taught me to be kind, to be brave, and to always take care of the people you love. He taught Max to ride in the sidecar and to wait patiently for treats. A year ago, I thought I had to stop talking about him because it hurt too much. But then, at a gas station, I saw Mr. Cole's vest and I said, 'My dad had patches like yours.' And Cole didn't tell me to forget. He told me I could remember forever." Liam's voice wavered for a moment, but he kept going, looking around at the sea of leather and shining eyes. "He called all of you, Dad's brothers and sisters, and you came. You told me stories. You let Max come too. You showed me that family isn't just blood. It's who shows up. It's who remembers. You helped me understand that Dad isn't really gone as long as we keep his stories alive, as long as we ride for him, as long as we love each other the way he loved us." He placed his small hand on the marker. "Thank you for being my dad's brothers. Thank you for being my uncles and aunts. Thank you for letting Max and me be part of this family. I promise I'll grow up to make Dad proud and all of you proud." Max pressed close, leaning his full weight against Liam's leg. There wasn't a dry eye in the entire circle. Grown men who had faced storms, breakdowns, and danger without flinching wiped tears openly. Tank pulled Liam into a crushing hug, Max included. Then on Cole's signal, 87 engines roared to life at once. A thunderous, earth-shaking salute that lasted a full minute, echoing across the desert. A final farewell and a promise all in one. Years later, when Liam turned 18, he stood in the same clubhouse, tall and strong, wearing full Desert Thunder patches he had earned through hard work, loyalty, and heart. His road name, voted unanimously, Legacy. Max, now grey-muzzled but still proud, lay at his feet wearing the same embroidered bandana. The original red one, the one from that gas station day, was now framed on the clubhouse wall beside Ryan's photo and vest. Cole, older now, pinned the final patch on Liam's vest himself. "Your dad's watching, son," he said, voice rough, "and he's damn proud." Liam smiled, eyes shining. "I know. He's been with me every mile. Him, Max, and all of you." Indeed, that simple moment at a desert gas station, a grieving boy brave enough to say, "My dad had patches like yours," a loyal dog still wearing his rider's bandana, and one biker willing to make a phone call, proved something eternal. Brotherhood doesn't end at death. Love doesn't fade. Memories don't have to be buried. And sometimes, all a hurting child and his dog need is a community that says, "We remember him too. You're not alone. You never will be." Mum, thank you for riding with us through this story on Road Motorcycle Diaries. If it reminded you that grief shared is grief lightened, that real family shows up no matter what, and that one act of kindness can change lives forever, Please hit that like button. Drop a comment below telling us, would you have made that phone call? Have you ever been the person who helped someone remember instead of forget? And most importantly, subscribe to Road Motorcycle Diaries and turn on notifications, because every week we bring you true stories that restore your faith in brotherhood, loyalty, and the unbreakable bond between people, and sometimes their dogs, who choose to ride together through life. See you on the next one, riders. Keep the shiny side up and always take care of each other.